Yo, what going on? It's your boy Jeff from the Same Difference podcast. Back again. It's been a little while since we did a live, but Nisi said, "Hey, we need to get this man back on." He's been on George Thurland, aka Gio. He's been on a couple times, and every episode is a banger. And people love it, and people love him. So we brought him back on to talk about something he's passionate about, and that is mentorship. Mentoring, especially to those between 18 to 24 or 14 to 24, because it's important. And I don't think our community gets enough mentoring. I don't know if you guys had seen, but even something to me that's as small and normal as requesting that the males in the community come out and take children to school, even that was an issue. So this thing will stop playing with me. Yo, my internet's so frig up, right? Yo,
What's going on, man? You make
yo,
me laugh at you,
my
man.
internet's so frig up, dog. I'm sick of these one. I'm sick of these one. Hey, we got Gio here, back on the show. We talking about mentorship. You might be wondering why. Why this man? Why he a mentor? The last time he came on, it was me, you, and Nisi. And usually the topics that we touch on are geared towards men. Because why? Can you tell them why?
Well, yeah, look, I say everything that I say is my opinion, but I feel like men in general, I feel like we're the ones that are responsible for the success or the failure of our community. You understand? Ain't no blame game. I ain't in this
Mm.
like, let me push the ticket over to the females and it's your job and nap. You know what I'm saying? I the whole accountability where it is, and I feel it's on we. If the community lacking is our fault, if it's thriving, then is our blessing. That's just my thoughts.
So you hear that, ladies? It's not your fault. you got scapegoat. The man said it's on
No,
us. It's
no,
on
no,
us.
no. Ain't no scapegoating. No. Don't put me in my category that dog. No, sir. Because listen, the same, and I know this in the topic of the night,
Uh,
but yeah, it got
uh,
some females that be doing some well shit, right? I just talking specifically towards the dudes them and just letting them know that ain't no man against woman thing is um we got a certain job. This is before we were born, and it is what it is, right? People like to bring it up and
mhm.
want to make it, comparing man and woman, and that to me retarded, man. You just gotta do what it is you gotta do and accept your role. You understand? And it is what it is. Like I said, it's my opinion, dog. So whatever.
Yeah. Before we get into the main topic, can I let me ask you something on that, right? So you're saying that it's on men, like the responsibility is on men to correct things. We need to step up and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So what's the role that we play in our women and children's lives as men?
So whether people want to agree with it or not, provider obviously is number one,
Mhm.
right? It is what it is. You got to figure it out as far as leading your family and making sure that you create a good environment to what I like to call nation building, right? You build a small nation in your home and then that bleeds out to other homes and you know what I mean? That's kind of like your goal. So providing, protecting, right? That's another thing. And then being a role model, right? You don't necessarily have to father or be a biological father to younger kids for them to want to look up to you. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. People will bring up all kind of thing and bring all kind of well, men is disposable and we nobody don't care about we. Yeah, well, maybe because realistically, right? When you're talking about real important things like warfare, you shouldn't be sending women and children into war unless they want to. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's your job. You understand? Use the one that's supposed to be the shield, right, to protect. And if the shit go wrong, use the one that's supposed to take the first blow. It is what it is, man. I mean, you know, it's to run that no other kind of way, dog.
Fair enough. I'll take that. Me, I can't even push back on that there because I agree with you. I've been seeing a lot of sassiness. Like even today, I had to be like, "What? I see it now. I seen the lights. These men over here sassy for real. They're different. They're different. Let me say that.
Yeah, I can't get into all of that, there, man. I just, like I said, I've been talking for a long time. Yeah, I've been talking for a long time, you know, dog. And at this point, I just starting to just do action right now. Me want to talk a lot no more. I just start doing things. That's it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
That's what's up. That's what I like to hear. So the nation building ain't just me getting 2 more women and creating my own village. Dying the nation building, the poly thing.
So I could comment on it if you want. Here's my comment on that thing. If you into the poly vibes, ain't nothing necessarily wrong with it, right? Because to be honest, that's of ancient cultures that we've been a part of, right? But the issue with the poly thing is, in order for you to be eligible, right, as a man to be having a polygamous, whatever, poly, whatever you talk, not only do you have to be able to provide financially, but also emotionally to each female, all right, and then somewhat spiritually, because you say building a nation, running one household is tough. Properly running one is, you want to run 3 of them, 4 of them, you got to be the man. You got to be the man. I ain't saying men can't do it, you know. I just saying you can't just say I just want 3 women and just live in my life how I want. You got a lot of responsibility. That you got a lot. Each woman different.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They got different likes and vibes, and you got to deal with all of that. So it is what it is. If you can handle it, deal with it.
True. And we got Mrs. Thurland. She watching him. So he got to watch what he said too, because she made it clear. She listening in every time.
Come on, we know everybody's history here. Come on. We know how to say what I want. Come on now.
Hey, so let's get into the main topic then. Right? In our community, especially, we're missing mentors. Why do you think that is?
So what I have realized is not that we really missing mentors, you know. We got mentors home, you know. It's just that a lot of them giving some horrible advice. You understand? We have male mentors, you know. Some of them giving good advice. But the numbers of them that giving bad advice far outnumbers the ones that giving good advice, right? Personally, I have witnessed man telling younger dudes some crazy thing that they should do in order to succeed, whether it's crime related, how teaching them things how to deal with females. I listening to these men and they're like, wow, this is what you telling this man? This is what you training this man to do, right? So I don't think it's that we have a lack of mentors. It's just that they have a lot of men whom teaching younger males some crazy vibes. And then if they ain't teaching them, they just perform in a kind of way that when these men look up to them, right, they're looking up to these men like, yeah, this is the man I want to be, right? When in reality, that's not the man that you should want to be. You understand? That's how I feel on that day.
So your military, we're not gonna go into the specifics. I'm ex-military, and like what you're saying about there's certain guys that give bad advice. Mentorship is important, but picking the right mentor is also important. Because when I joined, right, I was a hole. I used to get in trouble all the time, like all the time. And I was told, you don't know how to play the game, Douglas, and all this other stuff, right? When I got to my first ship, because I was Navy, I I latched on as my mentor to the guy that was getting the most women. He
Okay.
was in our shop. He did what he wanted when he wanted and did not seem to get in trouble.
Okay.
However, me being a E nothing, I always got in trouble, and I was following this man. I'm not too proud to say that at that young age of 18, I was a follower. How do we get young men to like focus on the right things? Right? Because if you see somebody getting a bunch of women, they're doing what they want, they living their life. You know what I'm saying? Like a young guy will want to latch on to that there because he's seemingly doing stuff that he ain't gain no wrong for it. I want to be like that.
Yeah. So what I will say to that is a tough fight, because what you fighting against is a lot of media that you probably a lot of media that a lot of these kids don't have from young, right? They don't expose to this stuff from young. So even like give my my age bracket, for example, we had a lot of music videos and things where we would see man with a bunch of women, right? And then when we thinking, oh, when I get older, this is what I looking at. Because when I watching these people now, it look like these are the man. This is what success looks like, right? So my answer to you is, instead of waiting for the younger ones them to look for a mentor, you as a mentor should be the one out there looking for them, if that makes sense, right? Because the first thing I tell these man younger one them is, you need to be adamant about developing yourself first. And I know it's tough, because that's a hard message to tell these man, because you know how it is, man. You young, especially between like them adolescent ages, young adult man is trying to be like checking y'all, and I want to, I want to look the part and be the part, and I get it, right? Because it's all a competition in the male world, right? Everybody competing to be the best, whether people want to agree with it or not, right? They need to concentrate more on trying to develop themselves first, and developing yourself comes with a lot, dog, a lot. Because it ain't just like, oh well, I gonna read books and it's real simple things, I gonna give you one simple one, and this is a big message I got for any youth man out there. I talking about between the ages of 14 and 18, right? If anything you do, right, you need to make sure that you get your high school diploma and or GED. That need to be your absolute only goal. And I know it's easier for some than others, right? Because everybody grew up different, you check? And people are in different schools and all. It got so many dynamics that could make that tough. But the self-development part, as a man, you are competing in the world. When you get out there in the world, you are competing against other men, different races, whatever you want to call it. That is the first step. If you miss that step and decide, you know what, that ain't for me, you are already holding yourself back so hard. You don't even know. You understand? That need to be goal number one. You understand what I'm saying? All the other things after that, they are like, make sure you got some kind of physical health. Make sure you read in order to communicate better with other people, women. You can't just, you need to be, you need to try to be observant of what's going on in the world. Have different conversation pieces than just talking about other people. You need to talk about things that interest you. You understand? And so you could communicate that to other people, and then you build connections. You understand? So that's like the first development. You develop yourself first as a young dude, right? That's the hardest message to push to youth man them. You check? Hard.
If you're in the chat right now, I'm going to ask that you share this, get the word out, because I've been restricted so much by Mark. People ain't seeing my stuff even if they follow me. So go ahead and share this if you've seen it. But that's dope, man, and that's very true. If we telling the children to pick better, right? Isn't that like kind of victim blaming? Like pick better mentors. They don't know any better. So how do we steer them in the right direction? These young men don't want to listen. They want to listen to the old head do it.
So I'm gonna agree with you halfway. right now, right, the numbers in for me, I don't think it's high numbers because I really concentrate on these. But I am currently mentoring seven people. Okay, 5 are males, 2 are females. Right, younger than me, obviously, and they're eager to understand. What I learned is that um you may think that these youth them ain't listening, right? But when you show that you care, right, they're going to listen. Because I think a lot of times, like the ones that are in danger of going down the wrong path have people, or they're used to people not really caring about them, or at least they feel like it, especially in communities them that's a little rough, right? So the first person that show interest in them is the one that they're gonna listen to. Sadly, usually the first people them that showing interest to them is somebody that's asking them to do something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why going down that road, it's usually easier because that's the first road that they're seeing anyway. Then this person that's showing them how to do wrong, they may already visually have what they're looking for, right? They may have a bunch of women, or maybe a car, or a bad car, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, or maybe they got a lot of money, at least that did a flash, right? So now that look like success to them, right? So now they're thinking, okay, this successful person is showing interest in me. I gonna listen to what they gotta say. You see what I'm saying? So it takes more men to kind of be adamant and like forceful about like getting themselves in front of these youth to just tell them like, hey, this is what you could do, right? Like, it don't have to be this other road, it could be other things. Because yeah, I know you're saying them man no listening, but I don't know. I have to disagree a little bit because I think them man to listen, man. I think them man to listen. Real talk.
I don't know.
I know it.
If I feel like my children, like they don't learn unless they go to the hard path. Like me trying to tell them anything, even from my experiences, they don't listen. You get what I'm saying? Like they have to do it their way. And I don't been down that path a million times. I know where you're going, but me saying it is not enough. And words really don't teach real.
So I'm gonna tell you my answer to that is 2 things in mentorship / leadership that's hard, but it's something even me, I working on it, right? You have to be able to be a master communicator, right? Meaning you have to listen more than you talk. I swear to you, sometimes if you just listen, just let them talk, they will tell you everything you need to know. Just listen to them, man. Don't cut them off. Sometimes they may be talking and you hear something, you're like, this man or this girl crazy, man. But instead of cutting them off, just be like, continue. And let them talk. Just let them talk. They're going to tell you everything you need to know. Now, when you gather that information now, that's when you need to kind of formulate some kind of plan for them, right? Because just because you formulate a plan and give to them, don't mean they're going to listen to it, right? But at least
Facts.
in their mind, they think they're saying, okay, this person look like they're trying to help me. And because they're listening to me, I don't feel like they're really judging me. You check? Which is a big plus, because if they feel like you judging them, you ain't getting no words out there to them. I mean, you won't get the words out,
Conversation
but
though.
that's going that way. You check? So the listening component is big, and then trying and fashion a plan to give them and say, hey, try this. Some might not. Okay, they come back to you again, instead of ratting them, yo, Ras, don't listen to nothing. Instead of that, be like, watch out. I understand you ain't really deal with my plan the right way. Try this here, right? And I always try to give barriers. One barrier would be like, if you go past this line, you're probably doing something illegal. The next barrier won't be like, if you go past this line, you're probably doing something immoral. So what you need to do is try your best to stay in between these 2 lines towards your goal. That's it. You could do your own plan, youth man, right? I ain't gonna tell you how to do it. If you get lost, I'll tell you how I have done it. But we then a different generation. So you walk your way through there how you need to get to your goal. Just don't pass the illegal line and try not to pass the immoral line. And you should be okay. You should be okay.
That's the thing though. Those lines, right? they get blurred sometimes, especially when you see people that have crossed and continue to cross those lines, quote unquote, winning. You check what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna call
Okay.
his name. I ain't gonna call
No,
his
you,
name. But yeah.
I don't I don't paint pictures and examples of what winning looks like and what winning really is, right? So I don't kind of give stories and I try to paint the picture for a lot of, and I gonna say youth man because I really talk to younger dudes more than I do younger females about mentorship, right? Okay, so when I growing up, I watching movies and they the gangster rap era I feel really confuse a lot of man, like and we are use it more like a not more because it started with fashion. Okay, it was just like a fashion thing and then it became a lifestyle and then it become, yeah, this is what it is I want to be, right? And I was a wild heck because realistically even the movies them we used to watch used to show we all them gangster man, baddest man, them money. You see the movie start out good, they got a girl, they got the money, they got a business, but every time the end of the movie them man either dead or them man go in jail or they escape and everybody they love dead, so they got hide out. There was no other ending to the story other than that. You check, even the things we used to watch used to show you. So for me as a thinking man, as a thinking youth, that's the picture I paint to these man. I said, okay, if this is the man that's showing you the way, right? What do look at the outcome of those that you have looked up to before? Is that a path you're going? Because if you do what they do, that's probably what's going to happen. You're either going dead or you end up in jail for a long time. It ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Then they go, those are your two results. Or you're in witness protection or some shit. But that's it. You know what I mean? So that'll be my that'll be like my rebuttal to when I hear, you know, them younger you tell me like, yeah, well, this is what success look like this is what you gonna do. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, you might not want to do that. You just might not want to do it.
Oh, like as I mind yourself coming up, how long did it take you to change your mindset? You personally.
So I was fortunate enough to grow up with a lot of male mentors. So my grandfather, you know what I'm saying, was like he's like the king. I used to call he the king, right? You know, I used to watch here my grandma. Then my father was there, you know, in my life. And then I had uncles, you know what I'm saying? So everybody kind of teach me a different style and way of being a man, right? I already know from maybe 16 to 18 that I don't know that I don't want to be in a gang, because in my mind I was like, I had done develop a thing in my head like, I don't need a gang. I okay. I done been working for my youth man, so I could make money. I don't need a gang to make money. You check. I had uncles that taught me how to talk to girls, so I already know how to do that. So I don't need gang flash to get a girl. You see what I'm saying? So I already was
But even
achieving.
but even some of them man like in our family to be like the bad influences. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Hear
had
me
an
out.
uncle that
Yeah. Yes.
sold dope. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he was the first one that had me driving at about 11 because he was too forgot to drive.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
one of, you know what I'm saying? Like that fast life is very enticing. I gotta say that.
It is, but I think for me, I was a real like analyzer, young, right? And maybe that was just me. So I used to watch and say, okay, I am 16, right? My uncle is this year. Will I? So I think, you know, when I turn 30 something, will I be like he? Will I be like my father? Will I be like my? And I watching. So I saying to myself, okay, well, what he doing look cool. I could dabble in it for a little while because they're kind of cool. But I know deep down I can't do that there for too long. Or if I do it, it probably gonna lead me to a bad way. You know what I mean? And that kind of molded how I thought about life in general. Like even my single life, I used to kind of imitate them a little bit, but I deep down, I know I used to be a lover boy because when I was young, I seen married couples my whole younger life. I see my grandparents, I see my parents. You know what I'm saying? So now I know deep down, that was my image. Like, okay, this is what it's supposed to look like. But my uncle them cool. I like, yeah, man. I want to deal with what this man dealing with because these man, you know what I'm saying? Look, I gonna be honest. When it comes to mentorship and leadership, my father and grandfather taught me how to be a married man. That was their examples. But my uncle them teach me how to be a single man. You check? Because to me, it had looked like they was good at it. I was like, why these man? Come on. You know what I'm saying? My father dealing with his wife. My father dealing with his wife. But my uncle them, when I go with my uncle them, this man is on the road rolling, woman, and like, yeah, what going on? This man is telling me, hey, go over there and talk to she. And man is 10, 11, scared. No, don't be scared, slapping me in the back. I go over there and go talk to that girl. So it was a lot of different, it was a combination of things for the upcoming, right? I just feel like at a certain point in my age, I was like, well, I could either continue to be like this man and be this way, or I could be like this other man and be this way. But back where it relates to what we're talking about, I ain't saying that all mentors for youth man them gonna be great, I just saying if there are more numbers of mentors, now these youth man have kind of options to like emulate instead of zero options or all crappy options. If that makes sense. I ain't saying that all man gonna tell them good things. I just saying it need the numbers of older males teaching young males positive things need to be higher. It kind of low to me, or at least they ain't reaching them like how the negative message reaching them. You check?
No, I agree with you. I don't know what changed though, and I wonder if the hard-headedness, is a part of it, because coming up there was, this is just my opinion also. Coming up, I feel like even the dudes that did dirt, they respected older folks, and you know what I'm saying, they say, hey, good morning, even though they're doing dirt in the streets. Like there were certain boundaries that you just didn't cross. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like those are gone now.
I feel like that's all over in our more melanated communities, right? I feel like that's an age that just kind of fade away. I don't have a great answer as to why. I have maybe some thoughts about it, but I just feel like a lot of those, hear me out on this, okay? A lot of those that you say were maybe doing negative things and but still was respectful in a certain kind of way, respecting elders and so forth. Their demise was either the grave or jail, right? So now who come up behind them, right? And the question is how fast did they have to come up behind them? You see what I'm saying? So what I mean is, how fast did certain generations of these car dudes die out, and how fast were they replaced, and who replaced them? Because the people that replaced them ain't necessarily thinking the same way. Time change and generations change. So who replaced them? You check. Is it people that thinking straight? Is it people that have them same mannerisms towards elderly folks and maybe more community minded? Probably not. Probably is some crazy man. Probably is crazy man. Or you know what I'm saying? Because when you look at them communities, or like you're talking about street things, it's a weird situation, because it just depends on who is in charge. Sorry to say, just depend on who in charge, who's setting the tone, and if they're not enough positive mentors to kind of give a different option, it is what it is.
Darren says we got to remember that our mentors are going to be flawed. We shouldn't expect Superman and Wonder Woman them. I agree with you, but even that is a lesson. You know what I'm saying? To be learned. because when you have a mentor or you have somebody that you literally look up to, we have a tendency to put them on a pedestal. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I don't know if that's something that everybody could just help. We just recognize that this person is human, and also looking up to them as like this, you know what I'm saying? This dude that gain all the woman, all the money doing, you know what I'm saying? Can you say you're looking at somebody that you want to be like, and also like just recognize that this person is human like me? That's, I don't know. That's kind of difficult. What do you think?
I agree with your answer to that question. So, okay, I'm gonna give you a real controversial example. Okay, so when I was coming up, I used to watch the Cosby Show. Okay, right, and Cliff and Claire Huxtable. I was like, wow, this is it. I saying in my head, you know what I'm saying? Doctor, lawyer, these man in a nice neighborhood, raising a black family. I said, man, this man is the man. And he, you know, and a lot of the episodes, the man is giving his kids good advice. And the man, you know, he kind of jokey and and then, you know, he got some episodes, the man dealing with his woman, and there was just a dynamic that I used to watch. And I used to say, okay, this is an example for me to watch. These are people that look like me and they are successful. See what I'm saying? I would watch that next to something like Menace to Society, crazy farm with a man busting shot. So now I'm watching these two things now, right? Okay. Now, the issue with Cosby, obviously the man in his real life get caught up in some vibes. Now, for me to know, say, no, here is a controversial topic. For me to know, say, now, the image that he portrayed acting as Cliff Huxtable, I gonna throw that away out of my mind. That's ridiculous. Because into say I am just a Bill Cosby fan. I appreciated the successful black image this man showed me as a youth because I was able to now see that other than just watching Boys in the Hood alone, or you know what I'm saying? I'm able to see you could be this too, you know, that you could have a wife and a family too, dog. Like you like it's something for us too. But in order to do that now, there's certain things you gotta do. This man used to be telling his kids somewhere like, you gotta be in school. This man used to be giving them all kind of lessons, and I used to be watching it hard, like what? Because I watching this man as a father, and he got all the answers. His youths coming to, hey dad, what do you think I should do about this? And I'm like, why this man know everything? You check. So, that's kind of like my avenue on that, there, man. You know what I'm saying? The man ain't no perfect man, obviously, but the man messages, was legit, at least at that time.
It's funny. Cosby is a great example, actually, because every single role he did, it was a positive, uplifting role, and he meant to do that. That was purposeful. You get what I'm saying? But now, if you had to think of somebody that's doing that now, who could you think of two people?
You mean
because back in them days, just any celebrity right now who portrays an image like that somebody can aspire to just from watching it on, I guess, TV or streaming. If you could think of two people, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, I know.
Because when we were coming up, they were all over the screen. Those type of positive images, there were a lot of different shows you could watch. Family Matters. They had Cosby. They had that one where they were in college, A Different World.
Yeah.
What you know?
I can't name two right now that, and I said it's also because things have changed, but because right now that was like we call network TV. We was on a network TV vibes. No, we in the internet vibes, Internet of Things age, where you try YouTube, you go now. If you search, you'll find people, but you have to search. That man is not putting it in your face. You have to look for the info.
That's right.
And the info that you don't necessarily have to look for, that's trending, is the more like radical type of, we moving away from this kind of vibe, and it's more like gender war vibes, and you know what I'm saying. So it's not so much. I don't see so much male driven, well, melanin male driven family leadership type vibes unless I type into the search for that. I'll get it, but it's not like pushed as popular, you know what I mean, as like
the other stuff.
reality
Yeah,
TV.
the other
That's
stuff.
not like I said, reality TV.
Yeah.
Check.
But Franco has a good question, and I want to touch on this. Why the USVI lack personal development within our community? There's a lot of people who are comfortable and don't want to move forward. And I think the answer is in your statement, pretty much. You have a lot of people who are comfortable. Why does the USVI lack personal development within our community? No shade. I love my community. Is VI till I die for sure. But I don't think that we're asking for development. You could be the same person you was fresh out of high school in your 40s, and that's how we know you, and it's cool. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, I love home, but I saw a lot of things when I joined the Navy, and I'm glad I did, because I got to experience so many other cultures and like some of the stuff that I think back to. Like when I was in high school, I was getting in trouble and fighting and all of that. And when I look back on it now, like, why are we fighting over a girl, man? Why are you mad at me over my woman, man? Why are you holding a beef from 12 years ago?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, life has changed so much since then. Why are you still upset about something back then? And it's like, but even when you look around, the physical landscape is changing, but not for the better.
Correct.
So in a community like that, where even it either looks exactly the same or it looks worse, do you think personally you'll want to change and grow too? Look at the environment.
Right. The answer to that is no. I don't think you're gonna want to personally change just like that. It needs to be some kind of catalyst. So here's the thing about small communities, right? So I have a lot of love for the VI too. So here's the small community issue. The small community issue is when you get to working age, you're a part of a group that have the most power. You have the most power because you have the most money, not just cash money. You have like actual assets, house, land. Okay, you have a job at a certain age level, right? The community is too small. The community can't really support everybody having a job. No, when it had, I talk about St. Croix. No, when it had a place like Hesho, Mensa, okay, it had a lot of people working. You younger and older, and so a lot more people made money, which stimulated the economy a little better. So personal development was more rampant. You gotta remember, personal development, it bleeds into development of your community, right? You're gonna personally develop because we need you to be as well developed as possible to continue to develop the community when it's your turn to be the one that has the most power. The issue is that the community is so small and they have all kind of governmental things me want to get into right now. That's a different podcast, but people who are in power are not willing or ready to give it up yet. And the argument is, well, you're too young, you're too stupid, and you ain't ready, which some of it is correct. So my answer to that is, when it comes to small communities, usually the first answer is you have to find a way to leave and get abroad for a certain amount of time to stimulate your mental growth and personally develop, bringing in different ideas from different communities and cultures. Then you can come back and implement. But it's tough climbing from the bottom when a lot of times, in order for you to develop, is a lot of things that you don't have control over. School, community programs, you know what I'm saying? Economy. As a youth, you ain't really gonna control over that. You graduate 18 years old, and you got no job. Well, figure it out.
No, to be clear, you're not saying to leave and stay gone. Leave, get some experience, and come back.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Because sometimes there's not enough room. Sometimes there's not enough room. The community is too small in order to sustain and develop all these people. You check?
True. Shout out Franco, because you're doing it big in the community with healing the youth, and your message is always positive and uplifting. Congratulations. He's headed to college in the States also. So please don't stop shedding that light everywhere you go, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. No, speaking of Franco has a running club. So he's one of your affiliates, because you are a runner too. I thought I was doing something with my half and on 3 miles. But tell the people, what before you did the big do, how many miles were you running on a regular?
So before I ran my first marathon, the most mileage I ever ran was 8 miles. That was the most I run, right? And
you like how you said that, like 8 miles ain't done.
But that's just because of my profession. So I ain't really, because like I said, the environment that I was in for my profession, for my personal development, this is average. You see what I'm saying? So I am wrong. This is my personal development now. Back to relating to what we just talked about. So now in my mind, I know if I want to be able to actually compete with my peers, I gotta be running this 8. I gotta run this 8. And in order to run this 8, I gotta be running on the side. I can't just wait till I gotta run 8 with them, man. I gotta be preparing. You check. So now I got to make sure my schedule and my timing and my, diet and all of these things got to relate, because guess what? When it's time to run the 8, now again, because remember, everything is in a male wall, it's competition based, right? So yeah, 8 miles, you check. My co-worker and them were like, yo, you ever, man, we run a marathon. The man said, we said, 2. He said, we run a marathon in a month and a half, man. Say a marathon? He like, yeah, man, it'll be fun. So I like, it's nothing, man. I gotta run this. So now I doing my little 8 miles every time.
So what they say, they run marathons, like they train for a month and a half before the marathon. That's what they say?
No, he told me, he said in a month and a half, the office, we about to run a marathon. You should join and watch me. Yeah, I gonna do it, because you're doing it. This is the dude that mentioned to me, he's somebody that he was actually one of my mentors. You check. So I like, no man, this man that run marathon, I gonna run this farm too. Let me see what's going on. But yeah, when I look at, I don't agree. I say, yeah, I gonna do it. When before I even research the thing, when I watch, I hit me 26.2 miles. Nah, man, no, it's a crazy heck. But me backing out. So I run it. It was an experience. It was an experience. They
you almost died, he said.
I almost
died. She said that first one almost took him out.
Because listen, what?
He almost lost you, didn't
it? In my mind, right? I said, all I gotta do is finish this thing. That's it. I ain't got to ain't care about, you know what I'm saying, personal best times, nothing. All I know, I just got when they start, I have to cross the finish line. You check? Let me tell you something. When I get to, I said I gonna pace myself the whole time. So I running. I find, cause when you're in a marathon, right, it's hundreds of people running, right? And your goal is to get to a pace that's comfortable, in which you don't burn out yourself, and in which you could control your breathing. Okay. I find a group of people running, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay. Wait.
What he said? I was scared. LOL, man was on the ground with no shoes.
The finish line.
What, you run out your shoes on?
No, but the finish line, after I passed the finish line, they have an area where you can go recover. Dude, I been in the grass, lying down, shoes off, socks off, just trying to catch myself that. Because I telling you, that was serious heck. Serious heck. When I get to mile 18, okay? 18. I hit a thing what they call the wall. Is a it's like a runner's thing for marathons, right? So I hit the wall at mile 18. The wall means my body was like, hey, cool out. Cool out. You check? Because me, you know what you think you're doing, dog. And both legs cramp up. I had a cramp from my toe, like all the way to like my lower back. All my ass, every fucker cramp up, every fucker cramp. The whole, both legs. And I've been like by the medic station. This man give me water and like electrolytes. And then man is like, you want to quit? I like, you crazy. Me ain't quitting this, dog. You crazy. Me ain't quitting. Because all in my mind is thinking, wow, Sean, man, there by the finish line. My youth there. You know what I'm saying? For me to call she, hey, watch out, baby, you gotta come pick me up, man, because me make it. You crazy. Me ain't doing that, dog. You crazy. So now I start kind of slow jogging. Taking they had these little, they got some electrolyte, like little gummy packs. I knocking them shit down. And one partner give me a Coke, a soda. Drink that. I drink that, heck, dude, and I'm making it. Because you got to think in your head, 18 miles, right?
Yeah.
18 miles. I still got another 8 miles to go there. Oh, not even 8. Yeah, another 8 miles to go there. 0.2. So I in my head, like, me know if I gonna make this sign or that. Me know if I gonna make this. But I make it. Come across the line. I was like, wow. And yeah, it was a great feeling, man. A great feeling. After that, I was hooked. But I said, after that,
congrats. That's a big deal.
No, I gonna train up. I said I training for this or that. I got trained for this. Now after that, now every marathon I did after that was a success. You know what I mean? My time went down a little bit. I ain't almost dead no more. I crossed the line strong, you know. I said, okay, cool. This go up. This go up.
Shalimar says, ain't no way I was coming to rescue you without talking shit. You had better cross the finish line.
Yeah. And you know, and that's you know, that is a good motivation for me, check. Good motivation.
Tell the truth. What when you hit that wall, what did you see? What did you hear in your mind that like push you to keep going? What were you going through?
Well, so how I am as a person, man, like if I you know, people that are close to me know this. If I say I gonna do something right, I gonna do it, you know. I gonna do it. Like even if it take me years, if I say I gonna do this thing, I gonna do it. I have to do it. And that come from, you know, what you say? He saw my face? Never. If I if I say I gonna do something, I gonna do it. And that's how it works.
Hey, that's what I say. It wasn't you, girl. Simmer down.
Yeah, check. But
it was just straight ego. It was ego. You were running off that ultra instinct ego.
And that come from just how I was brought up. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, that come from my uncle them. That was their thing, you know. And it had more to do with like checking woman when I was young, like, you know what I'm saying, like, don't be a punk, like, you know what I'm saying, don't stop giving up, like, use a joke, you check. That kind of relate to other things in my life. So yeah, that's why I think it. And like Shalimar said too, I ain't want to be no joke, and she come talking shit to me, and this man talking about he running a marathon and he no.
But how she talking shit from the sideline? She wasn't running with you. She wasn't shooting with you in the gym.
Not at all. Just in the sidelines talking shit. Why is that good? Everybody know the rule out here. You check? So it's cool.
That's what's up. So that was your first marathon. How many have you done total?
So I finished 4. I have one coming up in November in Nashville. I try and knock that out. So we're gonna see how that goes down. I try and get it done in 3 hours, 45 minutes, which is a personal goal for me. So we'll see, because that means based on my training that I have to, each mile on average, I can't run more than like 8 minutes 15 seconds a mile, right?
Okay.
For me, that's like, it sounds cool if I do that for 3 miles, that's cake. But for 26.2 miles,
Yeah.
yeah. So we walking it.
That's what's up. Why don't you tell the people what we were talking about before the show started? The next thing that you want to do.
Oh, so well, before I got there, I just want to big up like we said, Franco been there, one way running club, man. Like if I ain't following these man, I respect these man a lot, man. I message them on the side. I love that these man out here first running group and Synchroy, well shit in the VI that I seen. And I respect them man for doing that. Every time I see them man through some content, I try and share that there, man. And yeah, proud of them man, do the damn thing, continue doing what I gotta do, man. You know what I'm saying? One way running club. I'll check them man out. But yeah, so the future goals now I'm looking at is when I was younger, they have this do the Synchroid triathlon. It's called Ironman now, right? And so that's in my sights. The issue with the Ironman for me is I want to at least get my PB or personal best at a marathon. If I could get that 3:45, then I gonna look into the marathon. The only issue with that is that thing that I gotta get a coach straight up, because I could swim, but there's a difference in swimming down on West Beach, right? To in a tights and a speedo swimming against man, like racing hard, then jump on a bike ride for 100 and something miles, and after that, then you run a marathon. You check? So
what would your Uncle Lem say to see you in a speedo swimming? And niggas don't swim. Niggas do not swim.
But hear me out. I don't know. Listen to me, dog. Real talk. Uncle, more that watch out. Just partner man them I know. It's gotta be my uncle. What kind of jokey heck you got on that, dog? Like, what kind of stupid heck you dealing with me? You check? And I don't know that. I don't know that. But guess what? Me and Kerry, because at the end of the day, right? I feel like them man gonna support me. If especially if it's something like Synchroy Ironman. If I train up hard and I say I run in this thing, I gonna deal with it. I expect my community to be behind me. Real talk. Because I tell them, man, watch I doing this, man. I got watch I want run with all kind of flags, everything. Whoever I need this man behind me. Because guess what? Why? If we got Synchroy Ironman, why we ain't got more people from home running it? That's where they live. That's where they could train. They know the route. Yo,
that my dog clogging you, my boy. Make I'd be shame bad to see you looking like a clog in speedos. My God. Already?
But guess what?
That's love. That's love, though. That's love.
I do like me, right? I'll be the one to get a speedo and put a face on the back and ride with that there. Yeah, because listen,
that's a sponsorship.
Yeah, them is my sponsors. Yeah.
Hey. We gonna get the same different speedos for this one. Don't worry about it. We got the same different speedos.
Yeah, I put a face on that there. Me and that there. Right on it. Like, wow, this man wild. Yeah. Hey, do that there.
Shalimar, your face going on the butt. What going on? Shalimar, your face going on the speedos.
Yeah, me and that there, man. But I don't know that.
Hey, Presley, I appreciate the stars. Go ahead,
to be honest, man, look, right now I have a lot more conservative athletic wear. I ain't got to wear them. I most likely is not wearing those speedos that. But that's a jokey head.
I don't know. So the triathlon, it's a full marathon, full 26.2.
So
after doing that,
so the Ironman has a 70.3, which is like a shorter version, right? It's like half. So Synchroy, I think, is a 70.3, right?
Okay.
Then you have your actual marathon so 70.3 meaning like total miles, that's how much you're going, right? So you swim a certain amount, you'll bike a certain amount, and then for the 70.3, you only run like 13.1 miles, I think, right? For the actual, for the actual Ironman,
okay.
the actual Ironman, look, but here's the thing. I seen all elderly people also doing the same. So I don't give myself no
No,
excuse.
listen. Don't let them man fool you, you know. Because I remember I was on vacation one time down in Florida or something, talking to this elderly couple, and they tell me how they woke up and they went for a short jog, right? And this is gray haired people, and I was like, how long? Yeah, about 10 miles. That's what we do
Yeah,
on the and I'm like, yo, you do 10 miles before breakfast? Are you
and that's
awake?
shot. And that's a shot
I do
job.
3 and I want to go sleep.
Yeah, that's a shot job.
Nah,
Yeah,
nah,
check.
bro.
So that's always been one of my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Come down and do that. Yeah,
We gonna
man.
support you.
You know what I'm saying?
We
So
gonna
if I
support you.
but obviously I gonna try it out in a more harsher area first. You know what I'm saying? Because these kind of vibes you gotta be training. Like what I mean to say is I will attempt a 70.3 elsewhere before. I want to make sure I could complete one before I come home and be retarded. Sure thing.
Man, don't do that, man. You
Yeah.
gotta do it home. You gotta do the first one at home, bro. How long you get to train up and be ready for the one home?
Me, you know, son.
You know?
I'll have to give myself a good like 6 months of training, dog. Real
We
talk.
gonna support you. We gonna support you. I'm telling you, people gonna show up. Hey, Charlie getting his ear, man. We all gonna be at the finish line.
Yeah. 6 months of training, I'll make something happen. Check, but like I said, I gotta get a swim coach. Like you know, what I'm saying the biking
Yeah.
part, the bike alone is probably like 5 Gs. You know, what I'm saying so it's a commitment.
I feel that.
But I'm telling you,
I feel that.
the heck is something, man. The heck is so that's something it gonna get done. You know, I don't know. Like I said, if I put that there in my size, ain't nothing really gonna stop me. I gonna deal with it.
That's what's up. Now tell us, right? We talked about mentorship. We went into the running journey that you're on still. I support this man. Listen, we need to be there. And the first one need to be in STX. You hear me? I want to see this man run the beast. So I need to show up. But we talked about mentorship. We talked about your running journey. Can you go ahead and say basically what overall, as far as mentorship, you've seen the knuckleheads that come through new to the military and stuff like that. You've seen the hardest of the hard. Pause. And so what do you tell them? Those ones that come, they join the military because some of them joined the military because they were court ordered. Some of them joined because that was the only option left. Some of them come from really difficult circumstances and it's new. What do you tell to those men?
So for those that's in the military, I let them know that because, like you said, sometimes they'll join and they'll say like, "Well, this is not what I thought it was going to be," right? Which is true. It's probably what it probably wasn't. What they show you about the military and movies and all of that is not real life. But what I tell them is, while you are here, whether you want to get out after your first contract or not, is you need to use it for whatever it is it gives you, because whether you know it or not is a tool, right? It's an actual tool. Because whether it's something education related, trade related, you could still live your life while being in the game. You know, you just have to know how to play it. So me as a mentor towards military younger person, and I just ask them, hey, what it is you want? What are your goals? And then I just point them towards where they could achieve them. That's it. Some people goal will change when they find out what they have to do in order to make it happen, right? You know, so it is what it is. It is a tool. It has always been a tool, right? People mix it up with patriotism and nationalism and, you know, serving for my country and yeah, but that's not really realistic. The truth of the matter is a tool. You understand? It helps you with discipline for the outside, for yourself, right? You don't have to agree with any and anything that some of the other leaders tell you, but you need to understand that just holding yourself to a physical fitness standard and waking up early enough in the morning to handle all your business throughout the day before other people even self-get up are just good lessons to have in general. So yeah, use it as a tool, whether it's education, whether it's a trade, whether it's just connections. Somebody that you know or you meet. So now that you decide you want to leave, let's go on the outside and deal with them, man, because this is what I want to do instead. You check? So just use it as a tool.
That's good advice because for one thing, the military gonna use you. That's for damn
Exactly.
sure. They're gonna get their money's worth
Exactly.
all day, every day. Vincent.
Every day.
So I applaud you for what you've done. I applaud you for being a mentor to young people. And I would like to get into that space. And since we're talking about mentorship, I want y'all to go back and look at the gifts program because there's some word that it might be another gifts program. We did an episode way back last year about the gifts program where a bunch of community mentors got young ladies together, had them at UVI, they fed them, they showed them about personal hygiene, resume writing, etiquette, all this other stuff. So this is the kind of stuff that I would like to see, especially for young men. Because I actually agree with you, Gio. The burden is on our back, right? To lead. It always has been. And now it's more necessary than ever because men didn't used to have to be told to lead and provide. They just did it. Mind you, I'm not saying they all did it the right way because some just provided and sit on the couch. You know what I'm saying? They didn't nurture. They didn't deal with the kids. They didn't show love. So I'm not saying they all did it right, but we need to find some sort of balance. So with that said, what's your final words? What would you like for the people out there to, what do you want to leave them with?
Yeah. So I am currently on a search. Just I'm not into the have younger people look for a mentor. I'm more like mentors should look for kids to what I'm saying, lead. So I would say if you're a male from the VA community or not, just kind of look around. It could be one of your little nephew them, your cousin them, shoot brother, sister, whoever, somebody, and just try to listen to them. The first step is just listening and just listen to what they're going through. Sometimes people label these youth man them as negligent or whatever, but if you just listen to what they're talking, a lot of them man want to do good. They want to succeed, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that there should be one push. Number one. Number two, hey, if you know of a youth man, you check what he's saying in the community that you feel that may need some mentorship. Hey, just what I'm saying, my Facebook wise message that there, and there's a group that I could funnel them towards, that he'll have dudes in there social media wise, no matter what part you live in, that will kind of like point them on in the right direction. You check, and yeah, that's all it is, man. Concentrate on just making the place better through leadership, man, mentorship. Talk to these man, because guess what? Somebody talking to them, that. And
Facts.
that's the results we got now.
And too often the issue really is that the people that are talking to them are not necessarily their parents. It's probably their peers because they're the ones that they see the most, right? They spend the most time outside of the house with them. They spend 8 to 9 hours at school. They're around their peers all the time. And their peers really don't know any better. They're the same age group. They're just trying to figure out life seemingly. So it doesn't take much to mentor somebody. Just keep it in your skill set. If you know your skill set is basketball, find a youth man that plays basketball also. Just play with them. You know what I'm saying? Pause, but get on the court, shoot some hoops. If you're not a talker like that, you don't have to. You could lead by example. That's a real thing because these youth are watching.
Yep.
And also to the young lady that had got shot, right? I did not mention it. I hope that she's doing okay because the news cycle just kind of swept over her. And in that video, I know this is old, but in that video, there was a young man right there, literally right there when she dropped. Yeah. These youth are watching you. We need better mentors. This is an imperative. This is one of the major things we need in our community right now. Men that would stand up and stand strong for sure. 10 toes down. I'm no bullshit about this my block. Nah, I'm not dumb shit when you don't own a brick in that motherfucker. But with that said, hey, get your tickets right now to see Difference and Friends 2. We have a 2-day event. We got plenty of vendors. We got ice cream. We got soup. We got Tanisha, the chef, she coming through too. we gonna have on the first day, the 27th, we have a live podcast show. We talking all things love, sex, dating. And then the second day is an intergenerational panel of esteemed guests, senators and shit, all that. We're going to talk to them about the status of the community. And also, they fucked around and gave us our own show on the radio, which is a lifelong dream of mine. You see? Goals, baby.
Exactly.
So tune in tomorrow, Sunday, between 4 to 6 p.m. on 101.3 Row FM. A different day with Ja. But that's all I got to say, man. Anything else?
Good to go, man. You already know.
I appreciate you coming through. Facts. It's always a blessing. But that is Gio. I'm Ja. This is Seeing Difference. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming through. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We out. Peace.